Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Thanks so much for hanging in there with us to get in on the discussion tonight. Hit us up on the Facebook page. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Or call us 804-447-0601. We're going to go ahead and profile missing and or exploited child as we do here every single week. Young Lauren Dickens. Date of birth November 24, 2009. Has been missing since September 7th, 2010. She is 2 years of age. She is missing from Memphis, Tennessee. She's a black female, 1'9", 17 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Last seen on September 7th, 2010. She may be in the company of an adult female. She was last seen wearing a brown onesie with a pink flower and pink dots. She has a skin rash on both forearms and inner thighs. If you have seen baby Lauren Dickens, 2 years old, please give us a call. 80 at the National Association for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST. That's 1-800-843-5678. 1-800-THE-LOST, or hit them on their website, missingkids.com. All right, we're going to move on and talk very briefly about the George Zimmerman interview that was on Fox News last week, where he was interviewed by Sean Hannity. Just a couple of quick hits that I want to kind of point out that came out of that interview. The first thing that struck me was the fact that he had no regrets about the shooting. I don't know how you shoot someone and you kill him and you don't have any regrets. That's the first thing. He did say he was sorry to the parents for having to bury their child, which kind of was an odd way of saying that. But he also said it was God's plan for this to happen, which is very odd to me. How anybody that knows me knows I'm not a Christian. I'm not a religious man. I'm an agnostic. But I'm also a spiritual person, and I'm also a logical person. And I also know that there's no way that God would say that it's part of its plan to kill somebody. You know, if you're a Christian person, which he proclaims to be, then you ought to know that one of the rules that you're supposed to follow is you ain't supposed to kill nobody. So I'm gonna start with Big Rube on this one. Kind of put a whole lot out there, and we'll kind of grab it as you kind of share your opinions on it. Just go ahead, dig in. What you got?
It's I'm trying to collect words that I want to say, but the first word that popped in my mind was idiot. I understand what he says, and it is what it is. But when it's all said and done, you killed a child. Was it really self-defense? I'm not too cool about that. I don't think it was. He didn't have a gun. You had a gun. I mean, to me, he's another person that belongs in the Shut Up Club. I think I'm just gonna put this on my Facebook and create. Yeah, because I just feel like that the more you talk, the worse you become, and he falls into that category because when he talks, I really hate him more. I think he doesn't help himself, and if you don't help yourself, then or a lot of people probably say that about me. Hey, Big Rube, you should probably shut up because you don't help yourself when you talk. But you know what? I don't sit here. I don't hit. You know what, Banks? But I don't sit here and proclaim that I did a bad deed because God said I should be doing it. I mean, that's I can't move on. Banks, what you got to say?
First of all, I don't know why his attorneys let him get on TV and say stuff, period. He needs to stay in jail where he was probably better suited, to be honest. He already lied to a judge, so how did he even get out on bail again just from lying to a judge? Isn't that a contempt situation? Supposed to be telling the truth to help you God. So, why not even use that against him when he goes to court to begin with?
It may come back.
For the second-degree murder. You already lied once, so what makes you think you're telling the truth now?
I don't see how there's any way that this doesn't come back to haunt him. I mean, the dude went on and said some things that were contradictory. And, I don't want to break down all of the interview because I want to move on to other things, fellas. But one thing that he did say in the 911 tape, you heard him say that Trayvon Martin was running away from him, but on Sean Hannity last week, when asked, he said that he wasn't running. So there's a very clear contradiction right there, because the difference between him running away from you or running period and him not running is very big. And I think the fact that he's running away on the 911 tape is probably more accurate because that's what's going on in the heat of the moment, as opposed to you having an opportunity to be coached and having an opportunity to change your story and things of that sort. Him not running fits more into what you need your story to sound like, because it sounds more like he's right there. He's a lot more accessible to you. He's a lot more confrontational, as opposed to him running away from you or running, period, in general. But, my thing is I can't seem to get past the whole "it's God's plan" thing. Like really, I mean, fellas, help me out with this. I mean, because I don't come from a religious standpoint. I do view it logically. I know who the grand architect is, obviously, and I respect that. I believe in that. I don't believe in religion. That's my issue. So we can talk about that another time. But the fact, anytime someone can say that the death of a young person or the violent death of anybody, at the hands of another person is God's plan, just really, really hits me in the gut in a weird kind of way. I mean, we're not talking about somebody that got sick or had cancer or something like that. We're talking about somebody who was perfectly healthy, who was walking down the street in the rain with a hoodie on because it was raining, on the phone with his girlfriend. He starts running because he see your crazy ass, and then you shoot him, and that's God's plan? Really?
You know what I hate? Oh, here comes sacrilegious Ruben right here.
Hey,
sacrilegious big.
I get called sacrilegious all the time. So
I'm sick of people finding God when they get in trouble.
Yeah.
If you find God when you find God, but you don't find God when you get in trouble. Like, I'm sorry, I killed 5 people. Now I found God. What?
No, you know why?
That doesn't make any sense to me.
You know why? Because they tell you all you got to do is say, "My bad, yo," and you get to go to heaven.
I mean, that's why. I mean, if people just do it, just say "my bad," "I'm sorry," "I take my punishment," and roll out. Don't say, "I found God. He made me a better." What? What you found God before, dog?
447-0601.
Yeah.
Ruben find God.
Yeah.
I have found him, but I'm sick of everybody else finding him all late. When they get in trouble, they need to find him. But by then it's too late. You already got caught up.
The other strange thing that came out in the last few weeks about George Zimmerman was the fact that allegedly he had been molesting a family member for 10 years since they were children. This family member claims that they were afraid of him, so they never came out. You always got to be leery of those kinds of things, but it's certainly worth bringing up since it is part of the story. And also, this same family member, again, considered this is a person who clearly has an axe to grind with Mr. Zimmerman, says that Mr. Zimmerman doesn't like black people. He stated it on numerous occasions that he doesn't like black people, and he is clearly, and these are quotes coming directly from this person, who's a cousin. He acts differently in groups of people where he is known to be very, very personable and charming versus when he's one-on-one, where he can be menacing and downright scary. Which, of course, if we use that as a blueprint, it certainly is consistent with this rogue, community watch guy shooting folks in the dark. So I'm going to start with you, Big Rube, on this one. Jump in.
You just talked about like over half the population of the planet. Because when somebody's around a group, they are different, regardless if they hate people or what. But then they get one-on-one with somebody, of course they're different. I mean, that's half the population, at least. You know what, man? This is sad because I feel like that Zimmerman needs Jesus, but it's just like you don't deserve it. I mean, and I hate to say it like that, but it's just like, how you gonna find something and then come find out you doing some other stuff too? Come on, man, you've already messed up. It ain't nothing nobody can help you with. I mean, because if you don't go down for one thing, you're going down for something else. And you know what? At this point in time, I don't know which is worse: shooting a black child who was minding his own business, or molesting a family member. I really don't know which is worse at this time. I mean, if he gets the double bogey, man, he's already in trouble. He's got issues.
Well, I've been a proponent, and I'm not playing the race card on this at all. Because again, I just see a man shooting another kid. I'm not playing the race card.
Well, yeah.
I understand why some people are playing the race card. but it should be just a simple fact: a man killing somebody who's now opened his mouth and said some stupid stuff, and he's trying to make good, or he's trying to sway a jury on his side.
What is he
swearing? It was kind of funny because he wanted to go on The View, but to go on The View, he wanted his family to get some type of protective custody.
You talking about The View with like the 5 women?
Yes.
Is he lost his train?
Dude, he was supposed to.
Are you serious?
He wanted to go on.
Man, Whoopi would kill him right there on stage.
Whoopi would kill him, and somebody else might kill him.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
He's an idiot for wanting to do. First of all, you did some bad things to kids, so you want to go to a show with 5 women who like kids. You think that's a good idea? I think not.
I think that it could potentially be brilliant, and here's why. First of all, he's stupid for talking. Stop talking. Really, like Ruben said, stop talking. But in his mind, he has to have a defense. So if he can go on The View and he can sway them 5 ladies and get public opinion on his side, all he got to do is get a couple of them. I mean, now Whoopi Goldberg, Joey Behar, and Sherry Shepherd going to tear him up. They will tear. They will physically assault. Yeah, they will tear him up. Elizabeth has a history of being a little bit more subdued. Yeah, not just because she's conservative. She's just more subdued personality wise.
Yeah, but Elizabeth has kids,
and so is Barbara. But I just don't see Elizabeth reaching over the table to try to choke the dude. But at the end of the day, the dude says some dumb stuff. I don't think they were dumb in the sense of that's how he felt. I think they were dumb in the sense of, why are you going on TV and you're talking about it now? Like, aren't you told when they lock you up, you have the right to remain silent? Yeah. Anything you say can be used against you in the court of law. Like,
can and will.
Yeah, people know it. Like, you don't have to be a cop to know that line. You know what I mean? So I don't know why his lawyer allowed him to go on there. And also, who I want to add to the stop talking list, Trayvon Martin's parents, their lawyer, Ben Crump, I really need him to stop talking.
Yo, this stop talking list is
I need Ben Crump to stop talking. Like, I understand why, but let it go. Let the jury take care. I need all these people. I need all of these people to stop talking. So we're gonna leave it there on the Zimmerman thing. We're gonna take a break. Ain't no half stepping, Marcus J. When we come back, we're gonna talk about the unfortunate mishap that went on in Aurora, Colorado, with the young man who went on a rampage and shot up a whole bunch of people with his crazy ass.
I don't know if it was a mishap.
Well, I used a very minor word to describe a very major thing. Ain't no half stepping, Marcus J. Be back in a minute.